Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, let's have this discussion and we could all talk like adults. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep the comments respectful. You know, no chopping each other down. Let's just talk like adults. Let's have some adult conversation. You know, the lightweight division is starting to heat up. It's getting very interesting. So out of all the lightweights you've recently seen, who you think had the best performance? Who you think has the most upside, downside? You know what I'm saying? Now, me, myself, we recently saw Devin Haney last week versus JoJo Diaz in a very competitive fight. Me, myself, most people with common sense had Devin Haney winning that fight. I don't see no controversy. I don't know why people think that JoJo Diaz won that fight when even JoJo Diaz didn't think he did enough to win that fight. Then you had George Cambosa Jr., who scored an upset over Teofimo Lopez in a fight that he was basically wasn't supposed to last 3 rounds in, but he managed to last a whole entire fight, all 12 rounds, and he won a split decision. But he got dropped. But then you have Teofimo who didn't train right, who's claiming that he had an injury, and and that's the reason why he lost. Whether you buy that or not, that's up to you. Then you have Vasili Lomachenko, who defeats Richard Comey. But you saw some moments in the fight where Lomachenko was very close to getting nailed and possibly being in big trouble. The body shots were taking a toll on him. You could tell he were bothered by him. But at the end of the day, Lomachenko fought through him. Even though a lot of people didn't appreciate what he did in the 7th round. Kind of overdid it with his showing off. But Lomachenko pulled through and won the fight. Then you had Tank Davis, who had a tough fight against S.A. Cruz. And Tank, got the nod. Tank won a unanimous decision. Some people thought that Tank lost that fight. I didn't think Tank lost that fight. But keep in mind, Tank did break his hand. And Tank managed to, fight through it like a warrior. And he should get credit for, fighting like a warrior and finishing the fight. So the lightweight division is very interesting. I don't think right now there's truly a number one guy, because if you look at all the fighters, everybody had weaknesses that could be exploited by a certain fighter if you really look at it. But at the end of the day, for us to find out who's the best lightweight, these guys got to start fighting each other. That's the only way we'll find out. But like I said, I'm keeping it 100. I was impressed with Devin Haney's performance against Diaz the first half of the fight. I think Devin Haney may have possibly got caught up with trying to, stop Diaz, and he abandoned his plan where he would outbox him. And I thought Devin Haney was, doing beautifully as far as boxing go. He was outboxing circles around Diaz, and then he started to take a little bit of punishment in the second half of the fight. But I think Devin Haney closed the show in a good enough fashion for him to get the nod. No controversy to me. I thought Devin Haney clearly won that fight. So like I say, styles make fights. So the best way for us to find out who's the best, 135 pounder, they all got to get in the ring. And they got to get rid of the politics. But to me, I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say. Because to me, there's no standout 135 guy. Because keep in mind, I know ESPN made it look like Lomachenko put on the performance of his life, but at the end of the day, Richard Comey was stopped by Teofimo Lopez in like 2 rounds. And Teofimo Lopez, beat up Lomachenko. As far as Lomachenko and his injury and shoulder repair, to me, I'm not buying that, and I'm just going to keep it a buck because I think that's weak. I think that's weak to try to give somebody some sympathy. At the end of the day, if Lomachenko was that hurt, he should have pulled out of the fight. That's just real talk. He signed a contract. He went in there, and he lost. Well, if that's the case, he was so hurt. Well, what about those last 3 rounds? Well, not last 3 rounds. What about after the 7th round when Lomachenko kind of went on a tear, and it looked like he was on the verge of possibly stopping Teofimo Lopez? I guess nobody remember that. But anyway, I'll let you guys decide. This your boy Town Biz. I'm out.